So, the crucial point we need to ask right off the bat is, why do great improvement projects fail? Nakakagulat man pero projects don't usually fail because of bad statistics. Hindi yan dahil mali yung computation nyo ng DPMO o kaya dahil hindi masyadong marunong mag-regression analysis yung team. Most of the time, they fail because of a lack of leadership support. Totoo yan. Kahit gaano pa kagaling ang root cause analysis mo, kung walang solid na suporta mula sa taas, walang mangyayari. Hindi mai-implement ang solusyon. And this brilliantly illustrates why we really need to understand the specific roles of our leaders.
Alright, umpisahan natin sa pinakatuktok ng corporate hierarchy. Let's tackle our first topic, Lean Six Sigma Executives.
Sino-sino ba talaga ang mga executives na ito? Well, sila yung tinatawag nating C-suite, yung inyong CEO, COO, CFO, pati na rin ang inyong mga vice presidents at mga directors. Sila yung nakakakita ng bigger picture at sila talaga ang nagdadrive ng organizational strategy. To put that into perspective, kung nasa isang malaking local BPO company ka, ito yung inyong VP of Operations na nag-iisip kung paano papataasin ang overall client satisfaction score. O kaya naman, kung nasa isang retail chain ka, ito yung CFO ninyo na mahigpit na nababantay sa bottom line at laging naghahanap ng paraan para ma-reduce ang operational costs.
Let's break down exactly what they do, because this is super important. First, they align projects to strategic goals. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng kung ano lang yung maisipan ng team. Halimbawa, kung ang strategic goal ng Jollibee for the year is to improve customer convenience, ang i-align na Lean Six Sigma project dyan ay yung pag-reduce ng drive-thru wait times, hindi yung pag-rearrange ng filing cabinet sa HR department, right? Second, they establish project selection criteria. Sila nagdedesisyon kung ano ang basehan natin. ROI ba ito? Customer impact ba? Third, they assign project champions. Sila yung namimili ng mga leaders na magbabantay sa project. And lastly, they provide essential resources. Why does this matter? Kasi kung walang budget for software tools o walang training budget, literally nakatali ang kamay ng team ninyo. Watch out for this. If executives approve a project but don't actually provide the resources, I'm telling you, that project is set up to fail from day one.
Okay, moving on to our second topic. Mula sa high-level executives, bababa tayo ng kaunti. Enter the project champion.
Ano ba ang role ng isang project champion? Siya yung point person ng management na naka-assign para masiguradong magiging successful ang isang particular na project. At yung absolute keyword here is clout. Kailangan ang champion natin ay may sapat na organizational clout and respect. Hindi pwede yung bagong promote lang na wala pang influence sa ibang department, it just won't work. The champion acts as a shield para sa project team. Sila yung tagasalo ng mga problema at tagahawi ng mga nakaharang sa daan para makapag-focus ang team sa mismong pag-solve ng process issues.
Para mas malinaw yung difference nila, let's look at this comparison. Think of executives as the ones providing the air cover. Sila yung nagsiset ng direction sa taas at namimili ng laban. On the other hand, the champions are the ones providing ground support and roadblock removal. Imagine natin sa isang local logistics company. Let's say nagkakaroon ng matinding delay sa delivery dispatching. Ang executive, siya magsasabi na kailangan nating isolve ang dispatch variance natin this quarter. Pero ang champion, siya yung tatawag mismo sa warehouse manager at sa fleet manager para sabihing, kailangan magtulungan ng mga tao ninyo para sa project na ito at ako ang bahala sa inyo. That's the difference.
So ano ba talaga ang specific na ginagawa ng champion sa umpisa? Let's dive into topic 3, champion launch duties.
Pag mag-uumpisa pa lang ang project, the champion must first select a leader. Kadalasan isang green belt o black belt ito. Next step is to approve the project charter. Guys, sobrang critical nito ha. Yung charter kasi, nandyan yung business case, problem statement, objectives, timeline at pati scope. Hindi ito pwedeng rubber stamp lang na pipirmahan ng hindi binabasa. The champion needs to deeply understand it before moving to the third step, which is to launch the project. Bukod yan, the champion must reassign work to others and provide dedicated time para sa project leader. Ito yung isang malaking watchout natin sa corporate setting dito sa Pilipinas. Wag mong i-expect na makakatapos ng isang complex DMAIC project ng leader mo kung 100% pa rin ang load niya sa regular day job niya. The champion needs to step in and say, "Teka, i-distribute muna natin yung ibang tasks ni Pedro para makafocus siya sa project na ito."
Kapag naka-launch na, nag-iiba na ang laro. Let's talk about topic 4, removing roadblocks.
Dito talaga natetest ang galing ng isang champion, yung day-to-day heavy lifting. Unang-una, they must review weekly updates. Hindi pwedeng sa end of the month na lang sila magtatanong ng status, too late na yon. Pangalawa, and this is very common here in the Philippines, resolve organizational turf issues. Watch out warning ito ha, the classic Filipino corporate turf wars. Halimbawa, na-discover ng team na ang root cause pala ng delay ay nasa mabagal na system ng IT. Pero galit ang IT department sa operations dahil sa sisihan. The champion, using their clout, sits down with the IT director to mediate and align them back to the project goals. Also, the champion steps in to fix budget and resource limits at mag-manage ng conflicting priorities, lalo na kapag biglang may pumasok na bagong urgent initiative ang kumpanya at gustong hatakin yung mga members ng project team mo.
Fast forward a bit. Natapos na ng team ang analyze at improve phases. Welcome to Topic 5, Project Sign-Off. Sa control phase na tayo, and the champion must review the changes, approve the improvements, and finally sign off. Sila ang may absolute final say bago i-implement as business as usual ang bagong proseso. Para mas ma-visualize nyo, halimbawa ang project ninyo ay nag-standardize ng documentation procedures sa isang ahensya tulad ng LTO para mawala ang mga fixers. The champion must officially approve those process and metric changes. Sila rin ang nag-authorize ng new training procedures for the staff at nag-approve na i-update ang mga job descriptions para maging permanent yung pagbabago. Why does this matter? Kasi kung walang opisyal na sign-off mula sa champion, unti-unting babalik sa dating maling nakasanayan ang mga tao natin. The sign-off literally locks the improvement in place.
Let me leave you with this very powerful statement na galing mismo sa source material natin. Correctly understanding the roles of the executives and the project champion is pivotal as your organization implements Six Sigma.
Ibig sabihin lang yan, kung hindi malinaw sa kumpanya kung sino yung tagabigay ng direksyon at sino yung tagahawi ng daan, the best project leaders and the most advanced statistical tools will only lead to frustration.
Bilang inyong coach, I cannot stress this enough. Governance is the backbone of continuous improvement. Period.